go right towards the Thames Barrier. So this is my first view of the Thames Barrier. Looks as though the tide is out. That perhaps looks like the O2 Arena down there. Nearer to the Thames Barrier, I expected it to look huge, but in comparison with the width of the river, it looks quite small. Across the Thames, and another view of the Thames Barrier. This is the Thames Barrier near Greenwich. They just take off from City Airport. I've had to go up these steps, and then I've had to go down some steps, which appears to be a pointless exercise until I realise that it's part of the flood defences. I've got to go way to my right towards the Dome, Greenwich and Central London. Now I'm walking along the side of the Thames towards the O2 Arena, which I see in the distance along here. This is obviously a wharf which is used as a non-loading area for tarmac, and the stuff is probably taking the long chutes and long conveyors over there. And the tugboat there, taking two barges along the river. The Anchor and Hope by the side of the river here. So this is not quite as picturesque as further along the river. Yeah, the Agostine and Murphy's Wharves. Look at that for a sandcastle. I've never made one that big. So I've had to walk inland to go round Greenwich Yacht Club. Building going on there. And that's what it is. And that's more in progress. And they've created a walk-through for the Thames Path whilst they're doing the building. The residents of these expensive apartments still have to have their wheelie bins. This place is known as the Jetty, Greenwich Peninsula. A familiar sight on the river, the police launch. Cable cars going across the river here. It's quite a pleasant walk along here. And this appears to be an area which has been made to trap the water at high tide to encourage the growth of these weeds. The tide is starting to come in and cover that area of sand. That is the O2 Arena. A slight version of 1/8 of a sand ledger. Another view of the slice, the 1/8 slice of a sand ledger. View from the other side of the 1/8 slice of a sand ledger, positioned here at the side of the river at Greenwich. This is something else that's been done here at Greenwich. It's the upper portion of above the tide of the vegetation that can be growing near the river. The O2 over there, Arena, the Intercontinental Ballroom and Aurora Tower. More reed beds here. The O2 Arena along the river. This is a golf driving range. Come to the right, I think I've got to go straight on. So I've got to go along to the right, along Mauritius Road. I've got to go left now along Christchurch Way. Thames Path diversion. It looks as if I've got to go along River Gardens. So I'm told I've got to go up these steps through at the side of a granite apartments, and that will take me back to the Thames Path. It leads back to the riverside, River Gardens Walk. This is looking back from the direction that I've come. I must have spent about an hour, 3/4 an hour or an hour walking around various roads to get around the back of Morden Wharf. I need to go along this road, Ballast Quay, to the right. This is the Cutty Sark Georgian Free House. I just had to have a pint of shandy there. Looking across the river with the Cutty Sark pub at the back of me, to go along to my right. Looks like Trinity Hospital, Greenwich. Extraordinary high tide, 7th of January 1928, when 75 feet of this wall were demolished. Another part of the Thames Path walk near Greenwich. I can see the Shard in the distance. Looks quite close. The incoming tide is lapping along the shores of the Thames. So the old Royal Naval College is now a university and occupied by Trinity Laban Conservatoire of Music and Dance.